What's going on, guys? Welcome to, I guess, what is the first episode of this series. This is one of my other cars. This one's currently not in good health, but if we can build this guy up pretty quickly, maybe we'll spend some time on that Camaro. That's a 96. Let me take you through the Speed 3 since we haven't actually seen inside this thing. So this is your standard Speed 3 interior. Your fabric, red and black fabric with leather trim, dual airbags, CD, center console with the red piping along with everything else with the red piping. This is more of the base model Speed 3 as it does not have push button start. Wow, it's way too early for me to be doing this. Anyway, so does not have push button start. So we've got this little thing. This new thing is called a key. So we're gonna put this in here. We're gonna go get some auto parts and play around with the car. Be back. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. What are we doing at a Walmart neighborhood market for auto parts? Well, not really doing auto parts. We're doing a tape measure and we're doing some Plastidip. And the reason that I wanted to pick up some Plastidip is this front badge here. So we have the polished front badge. The previous owner had blackened out the rear badge, but the front was polished. So we're gonna correct that right now. And I'm using a dirty rag because, well, I don't care. It's Plastidip. If it bubbles, if it peels, you know, whatever. If it looks like crap, you can just peel it right off. But yeah, so I probably should have done this with a tripod because I'm gonna be moving this camera around everywhere. I hope I don't give you guys a headache. But there we go, nice and polished up. So I'm gonna use this Nashville scene as a tape mechanism. Not tape mechanism, what am I saying? You see what I'm doing. So Plastidip, you want to shake that well for about a minute. I've already been shaking it, so we're going to pop this top off here and go at it. So we're going to test on an inconspicuous area, so we can use this hood. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to just spray it in the gravel here lightly, make sure there's no splatter or anything, and then it looks pretty good. So I'm going to kick that gravel and come back over here and just lightly go over this. So this is rubber, guys. This is not actually paint. So when you put it on, you want to put it on in light coats, but you also want to get it wet because the rubber will form a solid seal if it's connecting to each other. If the little droplets aren't connecting to each other, you get a really hazy look, really crappy look. So that's all I'm going to do for a minute. And mainly the reason I wanted to black them out are these wheels. Beautiful, beautiful aftermarket wheels that I'm very happy to have. You know, I had Plastidip black stock wheels on my old Mazda 3S hatchback, and I loved that look. So when I saw that this one already had the aftermarket wheels, it made me very happy. And you can see that they've already blacked out the back, and it's chipped just slightly. They used actual paint. I will go and Plastidip over that at some point, but today I'm just doing the front, because I just want the front and the back to match better. You know, because right now it's very different front to back. So anyway, you've got a couple of issues with this car that I didn't really care about because I was going to replace anyway. I need to polish that out. Buff that out, I should say. And then the light has some issues too. It has some hazing, and it actually has some paper in it from where I asked them to try to get the moisture out. And I guess they were trying to use paper, which is freaking stupid. But anyway, we're gonna spray this again. Like I said, you know, $200, $300 light replacements are coming, so not too worried about the light right now. So we're just gonna spray that. You can see that I went a little quick. That is what you don't want to do. You don't want to rush it like that. But I wanted you to see kind of, even if you do rush it, it doesn't look too bad. So we're just going to really rush through this last coat too, really quickly. And if you notice, you know, I'm getting paint on the car, right? I'm getting paint on the car in the shape of a square, but again, it's not paint, it's rubber. So I'm going to let this fully dry. If you were doing just a small trim piece and you had it taped off perfectly, like a striping, you wouldn't have let it fully dry. But because I am going to peel this edge, I wanted it a full dry coat. So this is not perfect, but it's good enough for what I wanted. So what we're gonna do now is let that completely dry for a while. I went ahead and took off the paper, obviously, but I want that to dry in the sun. And while I was drying it out, I took off the aftermarket intake that came with the car. This is an InJen intake, and you can see that cold air intake is not getting much cold air to that engine. It's not getting much air to that engine. That is disgusting. I would never let my car get this way. And actually seeing that, even the rubber on the back, seeing that kind of makes me wonder what other issues I'm going to run into in this engine. But yeah, hopefully they just didn't know that you had to replace those or clean those. And hopefully they've changed the oil and other liquids and plugs and stuff religiously, and that was just a fluke. But 2 3/4, a weird size. I was just going to slap a K&N on it, but K&Ns in town are 3, 3.5, and 4. There's another aftermarket company, but it's 3, 4, and 5 inch intakes. So I guess I won't do that right now. So I'm going to get back to this. It's fully dried. I'm going to take this X-Acto knife and very lightly, because I don't want to scratch, I don't want to peel the paint, very lightly go in between the emblem and the wall of the car. And that's going to give me a seam that I can peel right off of. Yeah, so we're going to go straight through it just like that. And I'm going to go all the way around. And again, I should have really used a tripod. Obviously, that's not the best camera work. For future videos, I'll definitely use a tripod, guys. So, okay, so we've got that. We're gonna start peeling it, and it should come up fairly easy once I get that corner. It's a little hard to get that corner. It's still not thoroughly dry, and I really don't want to get the actual emblem that I just sprayed, so being kind of conservative with it. But unfortunately, it's not the easiest thing with one hand. What you want to do is you want to lift up with one hand while pulling on it with the other. And since I'm holding this camera with the other, yeah, it's not really working. Actually, you know what? I tell you what. Yeah, that's being a pain in the butt. It's gonna take forever, and it looks really bad. So I'm gonna go get a tripod, because this is ridiculous. I'm gonna get a tripod. Hang on. All right, so now that we've got a tripod set up, I should have done this to begin with. We're gonna go through and just kind of peel it off. So like I said, you want to lift it up with one hand and then pull with the other, and just kind of rope it in, you know, like you're pulling a rope in from I don't know, wherever you would pull a rope in, I don't know. But anyway, so we're gonna go all the way around and just peel it up, and you can see how easy that is. I wish I had had the tripod from the beginning. That would have all come off in one single piece. It's actually really cool. So 2 things here. It would have come off in one single piece, so I wouldn't have had that mess. And 2, I again didn't cut into the Plastidip very deeply because I didn't want to cut into the paint. So I've got a few shards of Plastidip there. So I'm going to take a screwdriver, just a dull edge, and just kind of go around and get that little edge up. I have a nice wax job on the car, so all I would be pulling up is a little bit of wax if I pull anything up, because I just want to lightly touch the car with this thing. I don't want to do enough to actually scratch it, and in fact, I wouldn't even recommend doing it, but I'm a little OCD. I can see where that I didn't cut that very good, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. and it'll make me happy. And you know, it's my car, so I guess I can do it. But again, I wouldn't recommend doing that to yours. But you can see that those little pieces that didn't get cut are coming off pretty easily, and we're just gonna work our way around, just kind of flicking them off like little rubber boogers. And once we get all the little rubber boogers off, we'll have a good setup and a complete black front emblem. So there you go, guys. That's how you do it. Super easy. We'll get to this intake next episode, and I promise I'll use a tripod and it'll be more entertaining. See you then. Bye.